Hold on 1 second, I'm coming. And I'm making lots of videos. I mean, I was totally dark, you know. I was like zero dark 30 for a while. They're not making any videos, and then I got all these ideas to make some videos, or people just commenting to me on YouTube or whatever, you know. So now how do you spot some fake ass supplements for, you know, like not necessarily fake, but just cheap, and you don't necessarily want them, right? The proteins. We're gonna talk about whey protein now. You know, the same thing could be said by egg protein, vegan protein, any protein out there. I'm teaching you exactly how to spot a cheap ass fake protein versus a protein that's legit, that actually has in it what it's supposed to be in whey. But to do that, you need to understand something about basic whey protein that comes out of milk. It's 20% of milk is whey protein. 80% of the protein that comes out of there is casein. Now, a casein supplement is different. It doesn't supply all the necessary amino acids to build muscle, but it does help you prevent muscle catabolism while you sleep. And it's a slow absorbing protein, just like egg protein, so it's better taken at night. That's why you'll oftentimes in these pre-bedtime proteins, you'll find that they combine egg white protein with casein protein to save themselves money, because it is not cheap to put egg whites in a powder form. So, having said that, if you wanna spot a crappy protein, here's how to do it. Now, I'm sorry to call the vegans out like this, but you take a look at Orgain's organic protein. Now, this looks like a great protein you could buy at Costco or wherever, right? Wrong. It's not necessarily a bad protein. It's got 21 grams of protein in it, right? Now, in your standard amount of whey, there are 3 types of branched chain amino acids that will help you. Well, there's 3 branched chain amino acids, and they will help you build muscle. Isoleucine, valine, and leucine. Leucine being the key ingredient that actually facilitates muscle growth. Isoleucine and valine are just like your backup sidekicks or your buddies, you know, that are going to help build the muscle, but they're not really, you know, they're going to spot you, but they're not really lifting the weight. They're going to help leucine build the muscle, but that's about it. The other amino acids do various other different things, and they don't necessarily directly relate to building muscle. They do other things, like L-glutamine facilitates muscle recovery better, right? And then you've got alanine helping flush lactic acid out of your muscles, and you've got, so each one, cysteine helps muscle performance, and I think it also helps recovery. So they just do different things, but they're not necessarily growing the muscle. Now, you look at how to spot a fake supplement, right, or just one that could be shady. We don't know, but you know, in it, this is a good vegan looking protein because it doesn't have dairy, soy, gluten, lactose. It's non-GMO'd. Okay, that's great, right? But here's a problem. The vegans seem to care more about how much fiber is in their protein than which doesn't necessarily have to have any fiber if you're taking a protein supplement, than to actually tell you anything about branched chain amino acids. But it claims to be good for sports and athletes and busy professionals. Now let's check on the back here. Yep, absolutely nothing back here about branched chain amino content, and there is nothing about. In fact, there's no amino panel breakdown whatsoever. And I'm going to get to an amino panel breakdown in a second. But your branched chain aminos, on average, just coming out of milk filtered, not whey isolate, has about 2.5 grams of leucine in it and 1.5 grams of both valine and isoleucine. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for that, and they don't disclose that at all on their product. So as far as I'm concerned, this is a piece of shit. But that's just me wanting to grow some muscle. I don't know, other people might take Orgain because they're vegan and they're protein deficient, so they need some protein, and they don't care about building muscle, like most vegans do. Don't care about building muscle. So let's see. I mean, maybe they do. You know, maybe they do. It's just that if they're taking Orgain, they probably don't. I don't got anything against this Orgain company. I believe in honest advertising, not false advertising. And I think what they're doing to say this is this is for athletes is no. An athlete probably wouldn't take this unless they were vegan, But just to say, well, it's a good source of plant proteins, well, yeah, you're right, it is, but it's not a good source of anything that builds muscle. So, now let's look at something more reliable that you could find at Costco, like MusclePharm or on Gold Standard. Now, the problem I have with MusclePharm, I was going to show you that, but I used it all up and I had to throw it out. MusclePharm doesn't disclose to you how many branch chain, just like the Orgain. That's why I brought Orgain out. MusclePharm doesn't disclose to you at all that what branch chain aminos are in there at all. And now you look at Gold Whey on Standard. Now they give you an amino panel on here. They have a little amino panel on here. Now, the problem with it is it tells you essential amino acids. That doesn't mean shit to me. It tells you 11 grams. Well, there's lots of essential amino acids. But there's only 3 branch chain ones we're concerned about: valine, isoleucine, and leucine. So the essential amino acids they list on here in no particular order, but at the top you've got tryptophan. You see what I'm talking about, the order. Remember, I talked about the order of ingredients on my last video. And according to the Food and Drug Administration, you have to put the order of which ingredient is the most occurring in the primary, or the first slot, the first order. So the first thing they have here on the list for essential amino acids is tryptophan. Now, tryptophan helps produce serotonin, the happy feeling in your brain. That amino acid helps produce the happy feeling, more serotonin, helps you sleep at night. It has absolutely no place, no business being at the top of the list inside of a post-workout protein source. Why? Because tryptophan has also been known to interfere with testosterone production, and it could interfere with I think it interferes with insulin production as well, and you need insulin to supply carbohydrates and protein to your muscles and help you get crap back into your muscles. Anyway, tryptophan is at the top of the list, so I'm on red alert, like this product is suspect. Okay, and then you got valine. Now, valine's a branch chain amino. That's cool, right? But that's not going to actually build the muscle, is it? Then you got threonine. This is all on your essential amino acid list. Then you've got non-essentials, and then you've got conditionally essentials, bullshit aminos. Okay, the next one's isoleucine, also not directly responsible for building muscle. Then 5 slots down, you've got leucine, and then there's lysine and phenylalanine and methionine. Now, at the bottom it says 11 grams of essential amino acids. Now that doesn't mean shit, because I have no clue how much leucine's in there, and that's what I want to know about. Now they try to do you one solid, and they point to the fact that there's total branch chain amino acids at the very bottom saying 5.5 grams. Now, we know if we combine 2.5 grams and 1.5 and 1.5, which are the numbers from the BCAAs that are standard from whey milk, that you're going to get 5.5. Unfortunately, Gold Standard does a very good job, does a very good job of a little bit of what I would call sleight of hand, because they're not actually showing you the branch chain amino breakdown. What they're showing you is exactly what they want you to see to buy their product, and then go, well, I trust them, they're a pretty good company, but they could be spiking this protein and taking leucine out of the protein and doing something else with it. They could be putting it in a better protein, or they could be putting it in a separate powder altogether that professional athletes will put in their drinks that tastes like shit, but they'll do it because they know that builds muscle. Now, I'm not saying this is a bad product. What I'm saying is, just be warned, that doesn't have to be in there. Now, the reason I like GNC's proteins, and I'm not saying, there's other people you can trust in the industry, like Mike Matthews and Jim Stepani both make good whey protein sources, whey proteins that you can trust those guys, that they're putting the real deal in their product. But not everybody's trustworthy. Look at GNC, for example. GNC sells a lot of stuff that I'm suspect about, so automatically I'm on the defensive. I very much heavily scrutinize their products, and it's really hard for me to find any piece of crap that they make. It's difficult for me. They're very honest about what's in their product. They have a full and complete amino acid breakdown, and they have all the right stuff in their advanced whey, and they also make a whey-bolic that's good, and they also make a whey, a sleeper whey, or a bedtime whey, or whatever. I mean, they have lots of great stuff, but in here you have This product I'm particularly interested in because it's cheaper and it's got the right stuff in it. It's got the leucine 2.57 grams. It's got isoleucine 1.56, and then it's got isoleucine, which is at, or valine, excuse me, valine is at 1.49. So those are good numbers, or grams, and it's got 24 grams of protein. So I know right off the bat those are the numbers I'm looking for. That's my primary concern. And at the top of the list for amino acid profile is alanine, which is good at muscle recovery. That's at 1.2 or 1.17 grams. So I mean this makes me happy, you know. And then arginine's in there. There's some other crap. Aspartate's got a really high number. You want to watch out for aspartame and aspartic acid because those are it's very cheap to put in there, and that's a way for the companies to spike protein. I'm not saying GNC does that. I don't really give a crap because they got the right kind of whey in there, and that's what I need to build muscle. So for the price, this is probably your best option unless you're going to order products online from reliable people. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say about protein and how to spot a fake protein supplement. I hope that's helpful. I know that wasn't my primary discussion I was having with somebody else, but I just wanted to cover this also because you really watch out and find those profile panels and make sure it's got the branched chain aminos in it if you're trying to build muscle. If you're just trying to supplement protein into your diet, then don't worry about it. If you're just trying to supplement some good quality vegan protein that doesn't necessarily build muscle, then go ahead and buy this. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, that's it.